is the last time you see my pretty face. But anyway, good afternoon. Welcome, Mississippi citizens. I am one of your fellow citizens as well, here to talk to you about our seatbelt laws. So growing up, I was one of those wild and free-spirited kids who never thought twice about my actions. My parents always warned me about the dangers of cars, and they especially told me about seatbelts. But you know what? I never thought about my seatbelt in the back seat, right? It's the back seat. Who cares? It's safe. When I was 15 years old, I was in the back seat of an SUV, and we were traveling 100 miles an hour down a 4-lane. One of my friends was driving and wasn't paying attention. A car pulled out in front of us. He swerved and we missed the car, but he overcorrected. At that moment, it was almost as if time slowed down and the passenger tires grabbed the road and they sent us into a roll. We flipped 5 times before we hit trees on the other side of the road, stopping the car. I remember because it was like a washing machine effect. In one moment, I was on the roof, and the next, I was in the trunk, grasping onto the headrest to prevent from being ejected. After that hit, it all went black. I was hospitalized and deemed I'd be a vegetable for the rest of my life. But it wasn't my time. I awoke 15 days later with a story that has changed my life forever. So I'm here today to talk to you about Mississippi seatbelt laws and what we can do about them. I want to talk to you about what our current laws are. I want to tell you about why it's important that we have backseat seatbelt laws, and I want to talk to you about how you can make a difference. Let's start off and talk about our seatbelt laws. There's 2 different types. We have primary laws and we have secondary laws. With primary laws, this allows any police officer to pull you over strictly for not wearing a seatbelt. You don't have to commit any other infraction. However, with secondary, you must commit some form of traffic infraction in order to be stopped, and then you may be ticketed additionally for not wearing your seatbelt. What's the fine in Mississippi? $25. What good is that doing? I can pay that easily, right? Well, to make matters worse, we only have a primary seatbelt law for the front seat passengers and driver. That's it. We don't have anything for the back seat. There's only 34 states in the United States that actually have primary seatbelt laws, 14 of which only do the front seat. We need to join the 20 states that have either a secondary, but more hopeful, a primary seatbelt law for the back seat passengers. So what good does it really do? That's what we're here to ask. Who really thinks you need to wear a seatbelt in the back seat? I sure didn't. I really didn't, clearly. As a matter of fact, 62% of adults are the only ones that make the decision to buckle up in the back seat. Only 62%. But yet, the rear seatbelt reduces the risk of death by over 60%. So it should be common to buckle up, right? Let's show you how scary it is. As a matter of fact, from all the deaths related to not wearing a seatbelt in a car crash, 26% of them were from rear passengers. 26%. That's over a fourth. What makes matters even scarier is that you're not putting your own life in jeopardy in the back seat by not wearing a seatbelt. You're putting the people's lives in the front seats in jeopardy as well. As a matter of fact, even if the driver and passenger are buckled up, their risk of death doubles when you don't wear your seatbelt in the back seat because of the impact that you could have on the rear seat when you collide with another vehicle or a wall. Doubles because of your poor decision. So what can we do to make a difference? Because clearly something needs to be done. We must first start by letting everyone know. Let them know about the laws that exist and let them know about the potential laws that could exist. Let them know about the seriousness of wearing your seatbelt in the back seat. I'll be passing around a petition after this that will be going to some of the government officials so they can be made aware of what's going on. Because when we passed a law a couple years back in Mississippi to make the primary law, most people assumed, okay, well, it's primary, that means it's for everyone. It's only for the front seat. We must make this change. And why? Seatbelts from the years 2008 to 2012 in the United States saved over 63,000 lives. In 2012 alone, it was over 12,000 lives. But what really gets me is that of all the people in car crashes in the year 2012, if everyone had worn their seatbelt, there would be an additional 3,031 people still alive today. That could be your family member. That could be your friend. That could be someone that you know that could still be with us today if they had made that choice to buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That 5 seconds of buckling up could be the difference between life or death. So now that I've informed you about what's going on with our current seatbelt laws, why it's important to wear a seatbelt in the back seat, and what you can do to make a difference, I hope that you will join me in promoting this and spreading the word and in trying to get Mississippi to enforce primary seatbelt laws for the rear passengers. It's a miracle that I got a second chance and that I'm here today to tell you this story. And I know I never want to put my family or friends through that again. And I hope you make the same choice. Thank you very much.